Every day, tens of thousands of Palestinians cross into Israel from the Palestinian territories, historically known as Judea and Samaria. There are dozens of checkpoints through which people enter, including this one, right here at the Hashmonaim crossing, just north of the Israeli city of Modiin.
Israel needs security. Everybody coming in from Judea and Samaria, whether they're Palestinian or Israeli, has to go through a security check, whether it's at a pedestrian crossing point like the one we're in, or a vehicle crossing point which is nearby. The point of the check is to make sure that everybody coming in doesn't have weapons on them and doesn't have any terrorist intentions. It's an unfortunate situation. However, because of terrorism, we need the crossing points to make sure that everybody has security within the state of Israel.
2,000 to 3,000 Palestinians arrive at this crossing point between 5 to 7:30 every morning on their way to work inside Israel. Salah Hamira is a Palestinian resident from the town of Modiin who was granted authorization to legally work in Israeli towns. He wakes up daily at the crack of dawn, departs his home in order to make a living.
I have a wife. I also have 2 daughters. We work, we get paid, and go traveling, and that's it. We need to work. We must work.
And like Amira, there are many.
I wake up early and go out to work here all around the country. I have my own glass business. Everyone has to make a living, has to bring food home to the family.
The average Palestinian with a work permit, or any sort of permit, will pass through these metal bars, this corridor in this complex, enter through the carousel. They will arrive towards this metal detector, put their cell phone, their keys, and any other metal object in order to pass through, take their belongings, walk over to this carousel, and over to passport control. However, this daily routine, which is very similar to airport security, can be time-consuming and tiring. And so when asked why crossings were necessary at all, the young IDF soldiers at this location described a number of cases they've come across which could have ended tragically.
Unfortunately, there are constant attempts to have Palestinians infiltrate the country without weapons, to have Palestinians bring weapons into the country, and even to come to a crossing point and attempt to attack, whether stabbing with explosives or with weapons, soldiers or security personnel working at the checkpoints. There was a Palestinian that came to this crossing point in Hashmonaim with a backpack filled with pipe bombs. He threw the backpack at the crossing point and ran away. Sappers were called, the bomb was disabled, but these attempts keep on happening. It's not always reported, but it still exists.
Everybody know how it is between us and the Palestinians. So it have to be somebody there to protect them, and that's our job here, so I'm proud to do that. I'm proud to be here for them, for everybody around Israel. And I'm sure all my friends that's here also are proud to protect the country. That's the job, and that's what we're gonna do.
Though the Palestinians entering Israeli grounds can often be frustrated with the process, it appears some of them do understand the need for security.
Nothing beats feeling secure. It's a must. It's better for us workers who go out in the morning. It's excellent. When there is no security, it becomes difficult. It's all right. It's of no bother.
There's no such thing as too much security. There are ongoing threats to Israeli civilians and to Israeli society, and as long as those threats exist, we'll be here to make sure that everybody coming in is treated respectfully, goes through efficiently and quickly, but is secure and poses no threat to Israeli society.
For JN1, I'm Sivan Raviv, Hashmonaim Crossing, Israel.